London-bound Air India flight carrying 242 people crashes immediately after takeoff from Ahmedabad. One passenger survives miraculously. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus sent condolence message to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressing deep shock at Air India tragedy. Bangladesh offers full support in any form. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus had exclusive meeting with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus to receive the prestigious Harmony Award 2025 from King Charles III. National Crime Agency of UK freezes assets of fascist Sheikh Hasina's Land Minister Saifuzzaman Chowdhury. Corona infections increasing in the country. Health Directorate issues 11 directives for all to follow to prevent spread of corona infection. 58-day ban on sea fishing, including Hilsha fishing, ends last night. And Bangladesh team going to Sri Lanka to play full series, including 2 tests. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is Upoma Shaha with you, welcoming you to the news at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Let's begin the bulletin with news of plane crash in India. A London-bound Air India plane carrying 242 people has crashed shortly after takeoff in Ahmedabad, Western India. One passenger survived the crash, officials said. Flight AI-171 was traveling from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick. There were 169 Indian nationals on the flight, as well as 53 Britons, 1 Canadian national and 7 Portuguese nationals, Air India says. Tracking website Flight Radar 24 says it received the last signal from the aircraft at 625 feet just seconds after takeoff. Videos from the scene show black smoke rising over a residential area. Local police say the plane crashed into accommodation used by doctors. Meanwhile, Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus today expressed deep shock over the tragic crash of a plane in India with 242 people on board. In a message sent to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Chief Advisor said that he is shocked to learn of the tragic crash of an Air India Boeing 7878 Dreamliner carrying 242 passengers in Ahmedabad. Bangladesh extends its deepest condolences to all the families who lost their dear ones at this tragic incident, he added. Chief Advisor said Bangladesh stands in solidarity with the people and the government of India and offer Bangladesh's full support in any form. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus today held a private one-to-one meeting with King Charles III. The meeting was held at Buckingham Palace in London. During the meeting, they discussed the massive transition in Bangladesh. The Chief Advisor informed King Charles of the reform initiatives taken by his government in Bangladesh. Later, Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam briefed reporters on the details of the meeting. He said the Chief Advisor's meeting with King Charles III was very fruitful. Replying to queries, the Press Secretary said various issues will be discussed in Tariq Rahman's meeting with Chief Advisor.
বাংলাদেশের বড় রকমের একটা যে ট্রানজিশন হচ্ছে সেগুলো নিয়ে কথা হয়েছে। আমাদের চিফ অ্যাডভাইজার কিং চার্লসকে জানিয়েছেন যে এই ইন্টারিম গভর্নমেন্ট কি রিফর্ম ইনিশিয়েটিভ নিয়েছে সেটা নিয়ে কথা হয়েছে। এটা 30 মিনিটসের মিটিং ছিল এবং খুবই সৌহার্দ্যপূর্ণ একটা মিটিং। এই পুরো ট্যুরের এটা ছিল সবচেয়ে আমরা বলবো যে সবচেয়ে ইম্পর্টেন্ট ইভেন্ট। 1-to-1 মিটিং এর পরেই আরেকটা অভূতপূর্ব ঘটনা হচ্ছে যে কিং চার্লস এবং তার কুইন ক্যামিলা তাদের স্বাক্ষরিত এবং তাদের ছবি সম্বলিত একটা গিফট ওনাকে দিয়েছেন, সেটা ওনার জন্য খুবই সম্মানের ছিল। সত্যিকার অর্থে যে তাদের মধ্যে যে সম্পর্ক, এই যে একটা পুরনো যে একটা সম্পর্ক, তারা দুজনকে যে চিনেন এবং দুজনের যে পারস্পরিক যে রেসপেক্টের যে জায়গা, সেই জায়গা থেকে এটা একটা খুবই আমরা বলবো যে ওনার প্রতি একটা রেয়ার একটা অনার দেখিয়েছেন। ব্রিটেন আমাদের খুব অনেক পুরনো বন্ধু, ব্রিটেনের সাথে আমাদের একটা ফ্যান্টাস্টিক সম্পর্ক আছে, সেটারই আসলে আমরা রিফ্লেকশন দেখতে পাচ্ছি গত কয়েকদিনে এই মিটিংগুলোতে। আর এই মিটিংগুলোর বড় একটা ফোকাস হচ্ছে যে অ্যাসেট রিকভারি। তো ইউকের যারা এগুলো নিয়ে কাজ করে তারা আমাদের সাথে যত ভালো রকমের কোঅপারেশন করছেন, আমরাও আমাদের কেসগুলো তাদের কাছে প্রেজেন্ট করছি। এটা বাংলাদেশের মানুষের টাকা, বাংলাদেশের মানুষকে কিভাবে গরিব বানিয়ে কিছু কিছু লোক কত বড় বড় জায়গায় কি সুবিশাল প্রাসাদ কিনেছেন। বাংলাদেশের সামনের পলিটিক্যাল বাস্তবতার জন্য পলিটিক্যাল যে আমরা আগামীতে দেখছেন যে ইলেকশনের একটা ডেট দেওয়া হয়েছে এপ্রিলে, মিটিংটা খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এই মিটিংয়ে আমরা আশা করছি যে তারা আমরা এখানে আসলে কি এজেন্ডা এটা না, তারা যে মিটিং করছেন এবং তারা সব কিছুই আলাপ করবেন। কেননা একজন হচ্ছেন বাংলাদেশের এখন ইন্টারিম গভর্নমেন্টের প্রধান, আর একজন হচ্ছেন বাংলাদেশের লার্জেস্ট পলিটিক্যাল পার্টির প্রধান। তো তারা দুইজনের মধ্যে আলোচনা হবে এবং তারা অনেকগুলো সব কিছু নিয়ে আলোচনা করবেন।
The UK's National Crime Agency (NCA) has seized the assets of Saifuzzaman Chowdhury, former Land Minister under fascist leader Sheikh Hasina, following a request from Bangladesh. The NCA, which handles serious and organized crime in the UK, confirmed in a statement to Al Jazeera's investigative unit that it has obtained an order to seize Saifuzzaman's properties. As a result of the asset seizure order, Saifuzzaman Chowdhury is now effectively barred from selling those properties in the UK. Earlier, on May 23rd, the NCA also reported the seizure of properties in London belonging to Ahmed Shayan F. Rahman, son of Salman F. Rahman, the ousted and fugitive former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's advisor on private industry and investment, as well as Ahmed Shahriar Rahman Shayan's cousin. The estimated value of those assets was about 1,479 crore and 38 lakh taka. According to an Al Jazeera documentary aired last year, the 56-year-old Saifuzzaman was said to own around 350 houses and flats in the UK. It is not yet clear how many of these properties are currently subject to NCA action. After the Eid holidays, many working people are returning to the capital. On the other hand, many are still leaving Dhaka today to spend time with their families or go on trips. Passengers said that this year the return journey to Dhaka after Eid has been much more comfortable compared to the journey home. Meanwhile, despite the Eid holidays not being fully over, at Chotarghat launch terminal in the capital, there was a noticeable crowd of returnees. Launches arriving from various routes throughout the night were docking at the terminal. There was a significant crowd of people returning to Dhaka after the Eid holidays. On the other hand, people from different parts of the country are also returning to Dhaka today by train. Passengers expressed satisfaction with the arrangements for this year's return train travel. Despite some minor delays in train departures, passengers were happy as they arrived in Dhaka on schedule. In the last 24 hours, 15 people have tested positive for COVID-19 out of 134 samples tested. Due to the rising number of infections, the Directorate General of Health Services (DGHS) has issued 11 precautionary guidelines, including advice against non-essential travel to neighboring countries like India. According to the ICDDRB, the recent surge in infections is primarily due to the emergence of two new subvariants of the coronavirus, XFG and XFC, which are believed to have higher transmissibility. Public health experts warn that without adhering to safety guidelines, this variant could spread rapidly. However, both the DGHS and the World Health Organizations have stated that while the number of cases is increasing, there is no cause for panic at this stage. The virus may pose a greater risk to the elderly, physically weak individuals, and those with pre-existing health conditions. Therefore, health experts strongly recommend that high-risk individuals receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Public health specialists emphasize that awareness, personal protection, and following health guidelines are key to keeping the situation under control. Bangladesh reported its first COVID-19 case on March 8, 2020, and the first death on March 18, 2020. From then until June 8, 2025, a total 29,500 have died from the virus. Dengue is once again on the rise in the capital and across the country. According to the Directorate General of Health Services, of the 288 people hospitalized with dengue on Tuesday, 276 were from areas outside the capital. This marks the highest daily tally of dengue cases reported so far this year. Experts said that this time of the year marks the peak season for dengue. Therefore, they are emphasizing not only strengthening mosquito control efforts but also increasing personal awareness to prevent the spread of dengue. According to the European Center for Disease Prevention and Control, Bangladesh is experiencing more dengue cases in 2025 than during the same period last year. BNP's Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi today said upcoming meeting between Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus and BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman is most important. He said this meeting will play a significant role in next general election reform and moving democracy forward. He was talking to journalists at BNP Central Office in New Palton and exchanged views on contemporary issues. After a 58-day government ban, fishermen from coastal regions have once again returned to the sea to catch fish starting today. Due to the proper enforcement of the ban, this year's hilsa production is expected to increase further. To protect hilsa breeding and marine biodiversity, the government had previously enforced a 65-day fishing ban from 20th of May to 23rd of July each year. However, this year's ban was slightly different. Due to the timing discrepancies with neighboring India and in response to fishermen's demands, the schedule was changed this year. Instead, a 58-day ban was imposed from 15th of April to 11th of June. During this period, fishing, transportation, storage and sale of fish in the sea and the coastal areas were completely prohibited. The Coast Guard, Naval Police, local administrations and Fisheries Department jointly conducted operations to enforce the ban. To support the fishermen in complying with the ban, they were provided rice as incentive. Now, international news.